Know what the business is? Know what the business is? 2 Cent Tuesday. 2 Cent Tuesday with Mr. Five of them. Mr. Five of them. Coming to give you some of this breaking news, busting you upside the head. Some of this good stuff. Life is all about incremental choices and decisions that we all make in our life. Life is all about incremental, small decisions that we make in our life. And I was talking to my mother last night about one of mine that I think I was about to mess up, and then it's like it's the advice that other people give us. It's the decisions that other people help us make that I don't even think we pay attention to, those small decisions, that how they play out over our life. Now I get to that in a minute. There's two type of people in this world. Well, there's more than two type of people, but there's two type of people that I'm talking about today. There's stereotypical people and there's prototypical people. Which type of individual are you? And when we are here asking questions, the answer ain't for me, the answer ain't for nobody else, but the answer is for you. So what type of individual are you? Are you stereotypical or are you prototypical? Do you go through life thinking the way other people think, or do you go through life thinking the way other people want you to think? Or are you one of those type of individuals who are trying to think outside the box, or trying to think about things that's never been thought about before, or trying to come up with new ideals and new concepts? Stereotype, prototype. Stereotypes is, we all know, biases and a fixed mindset, and the way you, and reading this book, mindset, fixed mindset, growth mindset, which one do you have? Another question, but it's not to be answered by me, it's to be answered by you. Stereotype. Are you the type of individual who allows other people to think for you? Do you have a biased mindset? Do you have a biased thought process? And do you just see things the way you've always saw things, and not asking questions of why do you see things the way you see things? Or are you prototypical? Or you trying to be a pioneer? And there's individuals in this world like like what Apple did with the iPhone, which I'm using to shoot this right here, record this. Or are you the type of person like a Samsung, who you jump in line when you see somebody else doing something? Copycat, stereotype, stereotypical. Are you antisocial or pro-social? Pro-social people. And I used to always have this debate with some individual, and a lot of people talk to me because what I do, they tell me that I should be pro-social. Pro-social people do not enact change. Pro-social people see things the way other people see things. Rosa Parks, if she would have been pro-social, she would have never sat at the back of the bus. Martin Luther King, if he was pro-social, he would have never marched for justice due to the injustice. And as much as I disagree with Colin Kaepernick, the way he's doing it, but what he's doing it, and has been doing for these years, the way he's doing it, but the man, prototype. Whether you agree with how, but it's the what. And then you have to ask yourself the why. So are you a stereotype or a prototype? And a lot of people always ask me, they do not understand why people join gangs. And they think it's a sign of weakness. And but you don't understand what you don't understand. Joining gangs and becoming part of a gang isn't weakness by everybody's part. But I'm not here to defend that or promote that. But there's some great individuals who just succumb to certain choices because our life is full of incremental decisions and choices we make. I'm anti-social. There's many different definitions of that. I'm not pro-social. And I try to live my life every day being prototypical. And we all have to fight through our stereotypes. We all believe what we believe. We all are fixed in our mind. We have limited mindsets that have us thinking a certain type of way. But I remember once before I had any of my jury trials, and I had a couple of my homies, Lil Al from the South, and Lil Swoop, Keo from the Big Bad. You know, they sent that word and like, man, come on down here to the Crip module with us. So I was about to go to the Crip module before I had any of my jury trials. And I told my mother, and we was talking about this last night because, you know, we have the type of relationship I do with my mother that we can be honest. I try to be as honest as I can with her, and we have discussions. Everybody have things about ourselves that they don't know. And I had a group yesterday, and I was talking about this. If you have children, allow your children to tell you the truth, to be able to come to you, even if you do not agree with what they're doing. Because if you do not allow them to come tell you, they will not tell you things, they will keep things from you. So allow your kids to come to you even when you don't agree. So I told my mother I'm going to the Crip module, and she said, you got to be the stupidest dude around. No, this is like the 23, 24-year-old me. She said, boy, if you go to that Crip module, you ain't never getting up out of that place. You might as well sit in prison for the rest of your life because you would be just making this choice that ain't conducive. So I thought about it, and when they came to get me, I waved it off. I called it audible, and so the police had to go tell Keo and my boy that I wasn't coming. I'm like, man, I had to make a decision. But if my mother wouldn't have told me that, and if I wouldn't have told her what I was thinking about doing, she couldn't have given me that good 2 cents to help me make an informed decision. So what type of individual are you in life? Are you stereotypical or prototypical? Are you antisocial or pro-social? Ask yourself the right question and figure out what the heck you got going on. This has been 2 Cent Tuesday with the G's, busting you upside the head with some of this good stuff. What mindset do you have? Back to your regular scheduled programming. And yes, this message is approved by my mother. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. You know what the business is. Mamba out.